What's up, everybody? It's that time of the month. It's time for us to do our analytics coverage of the month previous as we continue to dive into my journey as a full time content creator and streamer. Ever since June of 2022, I have been keeping you all involved in the analytics and the income, showing you all of the things that some of you are interested in as this channel continues to grow. This month has been a pretty phenomenal month across multiple areas. This was also a month when I changed strategies somewhat because the weather changed and I needed to get stuff done outside. So instead of streaming in the morning hours, I was outside working on the chicken coop and the rescue cat shelter and the things that people have donated money towards. I was finally able to get outside and start building those because the rain stopped. So as a result, instead of streaming in the morning hours, I was only streaming in the evening hours. But in exchange of that, instead of doing streams in the morning, I was producing lots of video content to be uploaded, which was part of the long-term strategy, which I've talked about before, of just building up a back catalog of videos that are paying, 1, 2, 3 cents a day and adding towards that passive income, that evergreen long-term income that is the most important for me in the grand scope of things. Anyway, we're going to be diving into all of the numbers today. If this is your first time tuning in and you don't know who the hell I'm Tim Anderson, sometimes known as the Bearded Dwarven Princess, but otherwise known as Renfail, my gamer tag. If you are a returning visitor, you know what this is. This is the monthly analytics video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and do me a solid. I thrive and live off of the support of you, the community members. A lot of you do super chats on live streams. That's great. However, on videos like this that aren't a live stream, you can still support. So if you can't be during a live stream, it's really simple. Drop a super thanks down below. It's the exact same thing. You can contribute in the exact same way. You pick an amount or you choose a pre-programmed amount and you go from there. We also now have 3 levels of membership, which was something that we added during the month of October after several members had asked me why I didn't have it, why I wasn't doing it, and I went ahead and did it. And that's part of the strategy that we're going to be talking about this month as we work towards the end of the 2022 calendar year. So now that we've got all that out of the way, thanks for supporting those of you who can. Hopefully, those of you who can do so on this video will do so because it's November. It's a new month, which means we have new goals for the month. We need to hit that $700 minimum for the month, and every little penny counts. So see if you can do $2, $5, $10, whatever you can contribute. Now's the time. All right. So first and foremost, we can see that this month was right off the bat a very big month in terms of traffic. A matter of fact, it was our biggest month of traffic since I first got monetized and the channel blew up in February of 2022. Now, the growth every month has been fairly steady. We've been able to see that. This was the month I moved, so April I didn't really have any internet and anything else. And then we got the internet sorted out, and I started full time in June, and it's been steady growth since then. But this month, the month of October, well, not this month, but this past month, the month of October, we saw a significant amount of growth. So the previous month, um, we saw, what is it here? 97,000 um, views for the month. And this month, now it may adjust a few thousand over the next day or two as it finalizes the numbers for October. But as of right now, we're at 197,000. So we did a 100,000 views more of traffic in October. Now, some of that was due to a couple of videos doing extremely well, but that's also part of the long term strategy that I started implementing this month, which we'll get into here in a little bit. So, biggest numbers we'd seen since February, a significant jump from last month. However, I would say that that's possibly going to be abnormality given the sense that we had a couple of viral videos. We may or may not get viral videos in November. It remains to be seen. But in the meantime, views were very, very good for the month of October. Subscribers were also way up. Now, we didn't have the same jump that we saw in February, where we had what is it here? It's not wanting to show me. There's 1,600 people, but we got 900 people this month. Now we have been very, very steady on growth basically since May. We've had about 330, 300, 315, 370, 344. In the 300 to 325 range is I would say 325 is probably the average for what we add every single month. This month we did more than double that. We did 936. So we did a significant amount of new viewers. I mean, that's almost triple the amount of new subscribers that we've had in comparison to previous months. So a great month across the board on that regards. In terms of watch time, again, the biggest month of watch time we have had, even more so than the month of February when I had the explosion of my first couple viral videos that did like 50,000 views and stuff. Um, the month of February, we had almost 12,000 watch hours, and the month of October we had almost 17,000, so it's significant. And obviously you can see the growth has been very slow and steady, but that was because I was employing a different strategy for June, July, August, and September. So the strategy for June, July, August, and September, so that everyone is aware, was um, streaming every morning for 4 to 6 hours and streaming every evening for 4 to 6 hours. In between, I would try to publish one video a day. Didn't always happen. Sometimes it would be a video every other day, but I tried to do at least one video a day. But let's just say 4 to 6 videos per week. And I was doing videos around lots of different things rather than focusing on the ones that I knew were going to bring in a lot of traffic and a lot of views and so on and so forth. Now, what I noticed was if we go over and look at the revenue component, remember last month, the month of September, I noticed that the numbers for super chats, um, if I can get this to stop tracking, I hate it when it does it. There we go. All right. The month of September, if you remember, we had fewer super chats than we had had during previous months, and that's because the cyclical nature of the way people spend. Also, because when we were getting a lot of super chats, we were playing the games that at the time were very, very popular and were peaking in terms of popularity. So we were playing things that were very popular at the moment. And once that adrenaline wears off, once that rush wears off, those people tend to go somewhere else. So if you're not continually playing the games that those people want to see, they'll duck in and out. So because of that, you're going to have a cyclical nature of, at least for the channel that I have, the stage of my growth right now. I'm not Dr. Disrespect, where I'm getting, 20,000, 30,000 people live every day and, thousands of dollars of revenue every single day from super chats. So I have to be conscious of how my channel is growing and adjust accordingly. Um, One of the reasons I was streaming so much was because it was constantly raining, so I wasn't able to get outside and build the structures that needed to be built for our homestead here. People donated towards a stretch goal in June when I first started going full time. I think it was like $250, I think, pre-tax, um, and for towards the chicken coop, for supplies for the chicken coop. And then that project had just sat there because I couldn't build it because of the rain, because the rainy season started in June and just kept on going. Finally got some sun, so I was finally going to get outside. So as a result, I changed my strategy a little bit for the month of October, as I previously mentioned. Now, the focus for the month of October, and this is where you're going to see a big, big, big difference for this month. We're going to dive into this really quick. We're going to dive into the actual revenue for the month. Um, so traditionally, transaction revenue for the past few months, transaction revenue has been, and let me move my gotta move my camera over here so that you guys can see this a little bit better. Oops, that's not the one I want to move. So traditionally, my transaction revenue has far outpaced my um, ad revenue. And the reason for that is because I've focused more on streaming and pushing the super chats and memberships and super thanks than I have on uploading videos. That changed this month. So October, I knew going into the month that we were finally going to start to have some dry days. So I said, all right, I'm gonna adjust my schedule. I'm going to stream in the evenings for 2 to 3 hours as I can. But during the daytime hours, I need to be outside from about 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning working on the construction of those buildings. I can't be doing streaming during those morning hours because I need to be out there before it gets hot and while the sun is here. So I was able to do that up until today. I'm pre-recording this on Tuesday, sorry, and the rains are starting tonight actually, and it's going to be, I don't even know, it's like 10 days of rain forecast right now. So I'm going to be going back to doing a lot more video production. Not the same amount of streaming as before, and I'm going to explain why not here in a minute. This was the first month where my ad revenue exceeded my transaction revenue, and the reason was because I wasn't live streaming as much and I wasn't pushing the super chats as much. But here's the interesting thing. So remember how I had a goal of, um, I want to get to $10 a day by the end of the year, $10 a day of average ad revenue. And at the end of last month, we were at $9 and I think $9.88. We were just shy of the $10 mark, so I was ahead of the curve. And we had seen a roughly $2.50 per month jump. So, going from $5 a day to $7 a day, from $7 a day to $9 a day, so $2 a day per month growth. So we were on track to see. We blew that out of the water this month. I anticipated seeing a significant jump, but as you can see, this blue line, we had a really significant jump towards the end of the month, and that's because we had a couple of viral videos that did very well and got up into the. I had one video in particular that went up into. I don't even know where it's at now. The last time I checked, it was like 25,000 views, and so we had a couple of. Well, you can see we had more than a couple. We had several days where the income was up over $25 a day. We had a 30. That was a $40 day. That's a 37-ish dollar day, something like that. That's a $50 day. That's a $26 day. $33 day. That's a $55 day. That's a $75 day. 46 dollar day, something like that. So we had some really good days towards the end of the month. Now we are dropping back down again, and the reason is because we haven't been focused on doing the same types of videos because I'm branching out just slightly for a little bit. But we're going to talk about this is what the bulk of this video is going to be about. So my average, if you remember, I wanted to hit $10 a day by the end of the month. My average ad revenue combined with YouTube Premium revenue for the month of October is $22.7 per day. So we blew our $10 a day number out of the water. Now, of course, the caveat to all of this is, can we sustain those numbers for the month of November, or are we going to see a dip? I don't know yet. Depends on a variety of factors. But let's talk about the strategy that got me here in the first place. Once I knew that I wasn't going to be able to be doing as many live streams, I said, well, I still need to be able to generate X amount of dollars for the month. I need to make that $700 for the month. Thankfully, we hit our minimums for the month. We ended our total for the month is $866. So we were able to hit our minimum for the month, which means the bills got paid, taxes got paid. I'm okay for the month. I survived another month on YouTube as a full-time content creator. Did I put any money in the savings? No, because even though we made a little bit of extra this month, I had to spend extra on the chicken coop, and I'm spending extra on the cat shelter as well. We had to spend like $50 on sealer. That was not anticipated because the wood was just soaking up way too much sealer. So, and we still got to get sheet metal and stuff. So I'm gonna be like $150 over budget on the cat shelter and the um, uh, chicken coop. So perfect time to say, if you can, please do a super chat right now on the video. Join as a member of the Adventurers Guild. Help contribute to the month of November because we got to hit our minimums again this month. So anything you could contribute, that'll be great. We are also still running the Cat GoFundMe for those of you who want to help out with the rescue cats. We are now all completely spayed, neutered. They have the rabies shots. We've got the basic cat shelter built. I'm just waiting for the sheet metal roof, but we still need the triple round of vaccines for each cat, and I think we got told the other day that it's like $25 per cat for that initial. There's way more vaccines, but the one the doctor wants us to get is it's like a 3 round. It's like 3 in 1. It's like a 3 in 1 shot that they give, and it's like $25 per cat. and we've got 7 cats that we got to do. So if anybody can contribute to the cat GoFundMe for the rescue cat, someone made the comment the other day that I can't believe you're asking your followers to support your pets, and it's like those are not pets, those are rescue cats. So understand the difference. Anyway, yes, we went over, did more than our minimums, but I don't get to put any of that money in the savings account because we already spent it because we were over budget on other things. So anyway, contribute if you can, helps me go onwards and upwards. Let's talk what the strategy was. I knew that Rings of Power videos were doing very well for me. So I said, moving forward for the month of October, if I know that I have to be outside for 4 hours a day and I can't be streaming during those morning hours when I have traditionally generated $25, $30 worth of super chats, I need to produce something that's going to generate something in that same ballpark of money, or at least bring in $10, $15 a day. So I said the Rings of Power videos are doing very good right now. Wheel of Time videos do less, but they're still doing okay, and I could build those up over time. So I said we're going to do one Rings of Power video every single morning at 6 a.m. I have a lot of topics to cover from. I can literally cover my own topics, but I can also go online and easily find things that other people are talking about and just regurgitate and recycle. And that might sound cheesy, but it's valid. It works for the algorithm and it works to bring new people on board. You can see that it works. It worked very well this month. I also changed my thumbnails, and instead of putting my face on the thumbnails, I started focusing more on the text. And some people might call that clickbaity, but it works. It brings people in. And some of them still have my face and like the whole thing, but I've started to do that less and focus more just on the text. Um, one video every single morning at 6 a.m. And then from then onwards, this is very, very, very important. Something needs to be hitting the airwaves every 2 hours from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. There's a 12-hour window. There needs to be 6 videos minimum that come out from my channel between 6 and 8 minimum. And those could be videos or shorts, but there need to be 6 to 8 things that come out from my channel every single day. One of those needs to be a Rings of Power video because those generate the most views, get the most clicks, get the most new users, and then those people that end up becoming interested in my channel will then watch the other things that I produce throughout the day and continue to build up users and subscribers from there. So what is the other stuff that I'm producing? Well, the other stuff that I'm producing is low quality, old video games, random news topics, random video game topics, things that take me very little time to produce. I literally can open up Streamlabs, record a 15-minute video in one take of whatever that subject is, run it through Filmora, and put my intro and outro on it and get it uploaded. It takes 30 minutes max to produce, and it's up. That means I don't have to do a ton of time. So if I want to produce, let's say I want to produce 4 videos in a day, I'm looking at 1 hour for the Rings of Power video or the Wheel of Time rant video, and then the other 3, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I've got 3 hours a day dedicated to that. Another thing that's very important is this month, YouTube finally got me. Oh, my phone's not back here. They finally, well, here's one of my phones. They finally got me on my phone. The ability to go into my channel and convert shorts out of my long form videos, and those shorts push people back to my long form videos. So now I can go back to any of my uploaded videos and I can cut up to a 60-second clip. And instead of being a separate video that's just for the shorts algorithm, it's now a shorts video that has a link back to that long form video. So if people want to watch more, they can go back and watch that long form video. This is very important for now because it pushes people back to the monetized video because I'm not getting any money from the shorts. But that's going to be changing in 2023 because they're monetizing shorts in 2023 with advertising revenue. Plus, you're going to be able to do super thanks on shorts. So I'm starting to build up my YouTube shorts game right now and getting people used to seeing multiple shorts from me per day, so that continues into the new year, so that once they monetize that, I'm primed and ready, and you're already used to seeing stuff from me throughout the day. So my objective for the month of October was to ensure that at some point in time, there's 12 hours a day that people are awake in the time zones that I care to focus on, which is Europe and the United States, or North America and Europe, and the English speaking world at large. And I want to make sure that I'm constantly saturating the airwaves with something from me. It doesn't have to be high quality, it just needs to be something from me. I dug into the numbers with Chris and I showed her that once we get to the point where we have 2,000 videos that are generating 2 cents a day in ad revenue, that generates $40 a day in advertising revenue, which for us is um, at that point 1,200 bucks a month. You take taxes off of that and everything else, that's more than what we need to pay the bills. So our objective at this point is to just crank out as much content as possible to A, saturate the airwaves, and B, build up to the point where I have 2,000 videos that are constantly bringing in at least 2 cents a day in ad revenue, evergreen content. Now, how do you know what's going to be an evergreen? Well, you can do a little bit of research, which I have done to some degree. Um, Not everything you do is going to end up being an evergreen video. The bulk of what you do will be, but not everything will be. So you just have to produce a lot of videos and wait it out essentially. Now the flip side to this is the same. It's the same as any other platform, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or everything else. And this has been true forever. If you can afford to take the time to put out 6 to 8 videos a day on any given platform, you are guaranteed that at least one or two of those pieces of content will do very well during a given month. And if it's something that goes super viral, it could be a life-changing watershed moment for your business or your brand. Now, I haven't had any life-changing pieces of content. But you can clearly see that the strategy worked for the month of October because the moment that I started putting out 6 to 8 videos every single day, that blue line, that's the ad revenue. That number started tracking. I'm looking at the wrong way. It started tracking in this direction. Just look at it. The whole month tracked upwards. From the start of the month, it just tracked upwards and kept on tracking upwards. The reason for that is because people were getting accustomed to me producing videos every single day, and so they're starting to tune in throughout the day. We're talking to Skinny after our D&D session on Sunday night. He said every time he opened up YouTube, he said he would like open up on his phone. He said open up YouTube, there'd be like 3 of Renfield's videos, and then I'd hit my shorts, and there's like 3 or 4 of Renfield's shorts. Like Tim was, Tim is constantly in my feed on my mobile app on YouTube. And I said, that's what I want. I want to be saturating your YouTube feed with me and my face and all of the things I'm doing because you might not necessarily want to tune in to everything that I do, but if you constantly see me, you're reminded that, oh yeah, that guy had a new video came out. I'm gonna go watch that video. And oh, wait a second. He's also playing Star Wars, and now he's playing Baldur's Gate, and he's also doing Cyberpunk, and he's doing Rings of Power, and he's doing Wheel of Time, and he's doing Star Wars Andor, and he's doing Willow, and he's doing House of the Dragon, and he's talking about upcoming video games, and he's talking about upcoming TV shows, and he's talking about this, that, or the other. Oh, and he's building a chicken coop, and he's doing outdoor cooking on a campfire, and he's got a homestead, and he's dun 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 dun. I am rapid fire filling everybody's feeds with everything that I'm doing, and it's lots of different things. So, what does this translate to? It translates to people watching my videos, lots of my videos. And then eventually that's building up and people are starting to tune in more and more and more. The other thing, which we aren't tracking here, but I can say from a um, statistical standpoint, on premieres, it acts like a live stream, right? So I started doing this daily at the beginning of the month, every day at 6 a.m. Central Time, going live with a premiere. And in those premieres, um, I'm there live with people chatting. First few days, 15, 16 people. By the second week, 20, 25 people. By the third week, 30, 30 plus. Then we get all the way up to the point where I did a live stream on Monday and I had 60 people in the live stream. And we had just been constantly building up over the course of those days. Today's live stream was back down to, or today's premiere, I should say, was back down around 30. So I think we've kind of hit the peak of like 30 to 35, is usually what I'm seeing on most videos. As of this recording, we've gone from 15 or 15 people per live stream to 30 to 35 people per, not live stream, sorry, per premiere at 6 o'clock in the morning. So people are learning that I am always there live in chat with people like clockwork, 6 a.m. every single morning on their way to work, or if they're European coming home from work, I am there, constantly there, and I'm hanging out in the premiere. Now, the premiere works for me because it's 6 o'clock in the morning, so the sun's not out yet, so I can't be out working yet. So I'm there with coffee. It's 20 minutes max, and then I'm done with that. I'm done with my coffee. I go have a bio. I have a quick bite to eat, and then I'm out the door building in the backyard. I'm in by 11 o'clock. I take a shower. I then have about 2 hours where I do video production, and I produce about 3 videos during that 2 hour period, which are the short 20-minute to 30-minute videos of like Cyberpunk, uh, Baldur's Gate 2, or Star Wars: Old Republic, the 3 single-player games that I'm playing, or covering a news topic like Riven is coming out with a remake, or Henry Cavill quit The Witcher. These types of things. These are things that I can produce in 30 minutes or so. I get those immediately up and scheduled for the rest of the afternoon. Then I take a nap. Then I get up from the nap, I have some food, and I do a stream from whatever time it is, usually like maybe 4 to 8, 3 to 7, 5 to 8. Somewhere in there, I'm streaming for like 3 to 4 hours in the afternoon slash evening. Then I'm in bed by like 9 o'clock, 4 a.m. wake up, get up, prep, do all the things, take care of the cats, repeat. So we jumped from $9.88 a day in ad revenue to $22 a day plus in ad revenue through the month. Now, am I going to be able to see this same growth throughout the month of November? I don't know. However, the same strategy that I employed this month, I'm going to continue to employ for November and December. I'm introducing more and more things into the YouTube channel, but the basic consensus is rather than streaming 12 hours a day, which is one way to stay in front of people's eyes, I would rather create a back catalog because I'm more interested in building up the passive revenue. Because the reality is that I can beg and plead for subscriptions and super chats, but there's always going to be a component of people who are like, you're a YouTuber. I don't want to pay you. Why should I pay you? You're making big money. I'm not, but whatever. You know, um, People, if they're given the option to consume something for free, they will consume it for free 100% of the time. So to get people to want to support the channel, which hopefully you do, super chats, nudge nudge, wink wink, memberships, nudge nudge, wink wink, help pay the bills this month. Um, People who support are the people who go above and beyond, and that's great, but it is a very small percentage. So if you want to build up to get to the point where that small percentage becomes a large amount, even if the percentage stays small, you have to build up your user base. You have to build subscribers and you have to get your channel to the point where, instead of only 15 to 20 people tuning in, you've got 60 people tuning in. And then next month, you've got 80 people tuning in. And then the month after that, you have 100 people tuning in. And you keep going and keep going. And then you're at 10,000 followers, 15,000 followers, 350 people are tuning into your live streams. Now you're making $75 every single time you go live. You're making $60 a day in ad revenue, so on and so forth. So I'm continuing to track this data with everybody. Hopefully you enjoy. Obviously, there's a lot of room to grow. We're still in the very early stages of this journey because I've only been doing this since June. So June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. November will be the 6th month, and I have no idea what November is going to look like yet. It could completely bomb on me. But the objective here is to continue to push out 6 to 8 videos a day, live stream as often as I can in the evening hours, but just focus on video game news, gaming news, TV show news, and reviewing the shows that we're watching, doing Rings of Power and Wheel of Time rants. I'm doing the rereads. I'm doing the Battlestar Galactica rewatch. for members. I'm doing all sorts of new things here on the channel to just continue saturating the algorithm with my face and my brand so that everyone is constantly tuning in and watching. Because at the very least, it generates ad revenue, and ad revenue is a portion of what we're making. And if I can get it to the point where ad revenue is paying the bulk of my bills, that'd be awesome. But we got a long way to go to get to the point where I feel comfortable. Like I said, we've been full time every month, but I have yet in 5 months, I have not put any money in the savings account in 5 months. We've paid the bills every month for 5 months, but we have not actually been able to put any money in the savings. So until I can get to the point where I'm able to put money into the savings every month, I'm not going to feel like I'm actually succeeding at YouTube. Um, when I get to the point where I can put a few $100s a month in the bank, that's when I'm going to be able to sit back and go, you know what? I think this YouTube thing is it's doing good. It's doing good. It's obviously building up and growing, and it's paying the bills every month, which is awesome. But obviously, our long-term goals are get to this point where obviously you want it to where it does like double. You know, we talked about this the other day. The ideal goal is to get this channel where it's making about $5,000 a month. That would be the ideal goal, to be able to make about $6,000 a month from YouTube revenue. Um, we'll be completely fine at that point, and then we could, if we wanted to, we could go up and we could start traveling again. We could go up and live in the States, spend more time up with my brother at the ranch and so on and so forth. But right now, our focus is the homestead, building up the homestead. We've got the cats all spayed and neutered now. We've got the lumber taken care of for the cat shelter and the chicken coop. So now it's just let's focus on what's the next project here on the homestead, and that's going to be probably building the retaining wall. Because we're in the cool months now, so I don't have to worry about getting more air conditioners in. But one of the things we would really like to do is try to get the retaining wall built over the winter, and then hopefully by the time we get to April or March of next year, we'll have enough excess that we can afford to put a couple more air conditioners out in the rest of the building and rest of the house so that we can have the whole house be air conditioned, not just the office room. But those are long-term goals, and that all helps. That's all going to come as of a result of this channel growing. So my objective, like I said, I'm still putting in about 12 hours a day into YouTube. But the strategy is a little bit different now because I'm doing, you know, 6 to 8 videos and shorts per day and 3 to 4 hours of live streams every day. And that's on top of everything we do over at the Patreon page, which still takes about 2 hours of my time. And then when I can be outside working on the lumber and stuff, I'm outside working. But we got another at least 10 to 12 days of rain. So I'm going to be in here just cracking away, seeing if I can't make November be a repeat of October, because it would be really cool to see the same amount of upwards net growth in the month of November as well. In any case, that, everybody, is the end of my analytics video for the month of October 2022. Thanks so much to those of you who have been able to support the channel over the past few months with super chats, stickers, super thanks, and memberships. Now is the time at the end of this video, if you can afford to throw $2, $5, $10 at the channel, whatever you can, drop a super thanks down there. If you want to get involved at the memberships levels and you want like access to the Battlestar Galactica rewatch and the Lotro chicken coop videos and all the other fun stuff we're doing, there's the membership stuff down there as well. So tune into that and figure out what you can contribute. Hopefully, I'll see all of you in a live stream or in one of the next videos. Don't forget to join the Discord, and I will see everybody in the next episode, whatever that is. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for keeping the channel afloat, everyone. Peace.